going up for this week 1 game against Wyoming, the linebacker group, obviously like the leaders of the defense on the field. What have you seen from Wyoming, and what have you kind of drilled your guys, at least that you can tell us about them coming up for week
Yeah, I
one?
mean, Wyoming's going to be a physical outfit. You know they're going to be coached very well. They're going to be very disciplined. They're going to be very physical in their line of scrimmage. They're going to try to establish the run, knowing how they're trained. Their strength coach does an excellent job. So this is going to be a team I don't think the heat's really going to bother because they're going to be trained really well with that altitude. So we've got to be ready to play 4 quarters of football. We've got to really stop the run and really – our goal is to really own the line of scrimmage, whether it's run or pass. You know, as linebackers, we need to do our jobs, and Coach Ward talks about it all the time. Everybody's got to do their one at length, and so that's what we're really focused on right now as we continue to implement the game plan.
What has it been like for you guys implementing the in-helmet chat communication with you guys, and obviously for the linebackers having to deal with all that now, and that's been like a new area for them to develop?
You know, those guys are wired differently. You know, when you get to know personality-wise each position, like, and especially the group we have, like, they really like it because it's extra information that they can use to play faster. Whether it's me being able to relay a split or a formation alert or a down and distance alert, whatever it is, like they really enjoy that extra information. And I think the biggest thing for me is not giving them too much. So they've really enjoyed it so far.
I was going to say, how big has Keanon been to being a leader of this linebacker corps?
I'd say it's a group of guys that bring something individually. Like I think his work habits are probably, at least in the group, some of the best in the group. I don't want to speak for the whole team. But really when you look around, that's what's cool about the group. They all have their different ways they lead guys. Does that make sense? And I think what that's allowed Keanon to do is really settle into leading by example, what he does on the field and in the weight room and off the field, if that makes sense. I think that's where he really shines in his leadership role. And there's other guys around him that have kind of taken the reins in other area, whether it's vocally, the type of energy, the chemistry in the locker room. And so it's a group that, yes, Key, I think does a really good job, but there's other guys that I'd be remiss, if I didn't mention as well.
Is he helping to kind of fill that large void left when Trayon Brown is gone now?
Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say, like Tate stepped up so much. Caleb's a different guy. Obviously, Crook and Zyrus were guys that played Zyrus was an all-conference guy, and Crook played, at Arkansas. So those guys were very experienced guys. And so I think it's just a combination of a lot of things. And again, it's cool because they're all different personalities, so they each bring a little different piece of the pie.
What have you seen from Jordan Crook's development from the spring to fall? It seems like he's made a lot of progress.
Yeah, he has. I think he's much more comfortable overall in the scheme. I think he's much better in pass coverage. That's where I've seen a big difference. He came in, and I thought he was one of our better guys out the gate, just as far as fitting the run, which makes sense coming from where he came from. But he's, just with all those guys, the longer they're here, there's more comfort in the scheme, what we're doing it, and now they're really able to look across the other side of the ball and use the tendencies and tips to let them to play even faster.